Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Here we go again. Here we go again. And today we're going to be talking about Yahya Khan, who's this weirdo. You can see him right there. His face is above the green. And yeah, this guy, let me tell you. Ahmadis are taught to be rude and arrogant. Very rude, arrogant, run their mouth. This is what Ahmadis are taught. And as a kid, I was always against that. I don't run my mouth, unless I want something from you. You know what I mean? I don't get excited either. So so let me tell you about this guy. So he's Shamsuddin's cousin. Everyone knows who Shamsuddin is. When Shamsuddin came out a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, he came out with some research on Yuz Asaf. He basically opened these books, Ikmaluddin, Tariq Azami, and a few others. And he said, look, in these books, it's proven without a shadow of a doubt that Yuz Asaf was the son of a local prince, the son of a local king. And then he quoted Razi Hakikat, which again, so remember the books of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad are these small little booklets that they added to. Even Hutbah Ilhamia, it's not in its original form. They've added to it because these are little small little pamphlets um, that they made into bigger books. So I'll get to that in a sec. So in Razi Hakikat, um, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad basically says he's been reading. So Mirza Ghulam Ahmad didn't know about Yuz Asaf anything. He said he read in a newspaper from the Oligarch College, and the Oligarch College was trying to make a connection with Yuz Asaf and Jesus or something like that. It was some type of situation like that. Just like with the eclipses. You remember with the eclipses? Mirza Ghulam Ahmad heard about it, read about it, knew about it, and then started to argue for it. But he didn't know about it in the beginning. He read newspapers, and then that's how he came to the understanding. So this guy Yahya Khan, um, okay, Shamsuddin comes out with his research work. No Qadiani MD, no Lahori MD, none of these guys to this day have responded to it, and they're not going to respond to it. Um, and a proper response is if we're there to cross examine. You don't just get to give your argument. See, this is what amnesties want to do. They want to show up and give their arguments, you know what I mean, on a platform. No, we don't do that. Like, you need to discuss or take the L. Say you were lying, say you don't even care if it's true, and take the L. Don't you know try to. I think one of them slipped in. The prophet Yahya alayhi salam was also born miraculously. He just slipped it in and then didn't want to get into it. Just slipped it into a conversation. That's wrong, man. Learn to be honest. It's hard for Qadiani to be honest, to have an honest conversation where there's no personal attacks. There's no questioning. Do you know this or do you know that? So okay, he just will not respond to Shamsuddin. Instead, he accused. He goes after character. Well, what's his character? You see what I mean? We've heard him and Jariullah are boyfriend girlfriend. His wife might have, and his mom and grandma might have given massages to the Khalifa. You see what I mean? If you want to go down that route, we can go down that route, but then don't cry persecution. Don't do that. And this is what they do in Pakistan. The way that he acts is how they act in Pakistan. So is that going to fly? Probably not. Them boys don't play that. You can't talk to people like that and not expect to get a bloody nose or something. But from far away he'll talk like this because he's a weasel. It goes back to the weaselism. It goes back to Damon. It goes back to all these guys and why they talk like this. It's because they've been taught it's okay. This is normal. Whereas the rest of the men don't really do that. So maybe in response, you know what I mean? In response to this guy, this is why I'm even here. Um, okay, so here's how the story goes. So I start talking to this guy, and I'm like, look, I asked him, hey, have you read Shum's? He's like, Shum's research. He's like, oh my God, he just can't take it. He cannot take that his cousin is getting any kind of credit for anything. He's like, no, he's not a good dude. This guy did this research. Acknowledge it. You know what I mean? He just can't do it. So then he starts asking me, "Are you a Muslim, brother? Are you a Muslim? What what is this guy on?" And he's already talked to everyone behind the scenes. They know I am. So then he says, "Oh, you believe you are a Muslim? See?" And this is what they do in Pakistan, and then they cry persecution. You can't walk up to people saying this stuff. Okay, so then I as I asked him, I said, "Hey," he started calling it a fairy tale. I'm like, "A fairy tale?" And what I'm referring to is in the book Ikmal and another book. Um, it's clearly written that a Yuz Asaf is the son of a local prince, not Jesus, not Isa, none of that. He was the son of a local prince. Um, and then then he goes, "Oh, have you investigated every single question?" So what? Here's what he's trying to say. He doesn't know how to say it, or he's saying it in a weird, like an Ahmadi way. He won't say, "No, we're not going to answer that because we don't answer every single question. We're only here to answer about Isa alayhi salam. That's it." He doesn't say that. He says, "Well, have you done this?" But what difference does it make? Well, it makes no difference. So okay, so look. Now here we go again, the same stuff. Now he's deflecting, and then he starts saying, "No, you're deflecting." How? What? I'm asking you questions. Ahmadiyya's on the bubble, not Islam. Ahmadiyya's being questioned. He just can't do it. So okay, so then he says, "No, you're deflecting." And then I'm like, "Dude, you're so competitive. You're just so competitive. We're asking you questions about your prophet and your theory of Jesus in India, Yuz Asaf. You should be happily answering." But he's like, "Nope, we're gonna be competitive." Look, he just kept like copying and pasting it. What an idiot. Okay, so then look, here he goes again. He's like, "Nope, I'm just gonna keep asking. He just keeps asking the same question over and over again." So then he says, "Oh, okay, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said it's a fairy tale." I was like, "Well, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said it's a fairy tale. Let me open up Raza Hakikat." And so at this point, he goes, "Have you read the books of Mirza Ghulam?" "Of course I have." And I'm like, "Well, 20% is Brahini Ahmadiyya and Hakikatul Wahi." Oh, I was trying to say that, but he wouldn't let me finish. I'm like, those 6 books are like 20%, roughly, very rough, because Hakikatul Wahi is huge. Brahini Ahmadiyya is huge. All the other books are small little booklets. Um, so now he's going to that, and then then I'm like, well, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad never said that. Why are you saying Mirza Ghulam Ahmad called it a fairy tale? So basically, Yahya Khan's like, no, it's a fairy tale, and I'm like, well, who said Mirza Ghulam Ahmad? I open the book. Nope, he didn't. Maulvi Abdullah said it's a fairy. Well, he's like, well, if look, he says here, if one person quotes something, then he agrees with it. Well, this is what we said on prostitutes in British India, and you guys said nope. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad quoted it, but he didn't agree with it. So now, this is where Ahmadiyya arguments contradict each other. As they start talking, their arguments they made last year about a different topic, they'll contradict the arguments they're making right now, and they don't care. Okay, um, and then look, there he goes. The only thing important is all the prophets have died. He's like, that's it. That's all we're here to talk about. These are the issues. These are the issues. The link is open. Um, yeah, I don't know who they are, but I'm down to do it. So okay, let me just tweet this link out, and then let's see who wants to show up. I'll put it in the chat, and I'll just wait a few minutes. Let's see if anyone shows up. Normally, these anti-Muslim Qadianis will never show up. Period. Period. Why would they, man? It's impossible. These guys, I doubt it. Seriously doubt it. So yeah, I tweeted the link out. So let's see. Walaikum salam, brother. Just talking about another weirdo. This is the weirdo, Yahya Khan. If you ask him to talk Ahmadiyya theology, he'll be like, "Have you answered everything about Islam, bro? Knock it off, bro." And then he was on the Wakar Zaka show too, about a year ago, and they asked him about the Panama Papers, and he just totally forgot everything. I'm gonna post that on TikTok because it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Look, that's it. This is all they want to talk about. If you ever needed the evidence, yeah, it's independent. Exactly. Exactly. And no, they will not answer. These guys, they are incapable of answering. You know what? I'm gonna send him the link. Maybe he blocked me on WhatsApp. I don't exactly remember. I know he hasn't responded to a bunch of the things that I've sent him. But these are the common Qadiani Ahmadis from Pakistan, extremists to the extreme. I mean, the immigrant Qadianis who come here and in their 20s or their 30s or their 40s, they are just the most extreme human beings. They are like, and they hate Americanized Ahmadis. They hated us. Oh my God. These guys hated us with a passion, dude. With a passion. I mean, just because we didn't care. You know what I mean? Oh, so okay. So then he talks about Urdu. Let me talk about the Urdu situation. It says, oh, maybe you can't read Urdu, bro. So 99% of the Ahmadis in America, are you are you throwing them out? What about Africa? Why did your silly Khalifa even start the Urdu classes? What was the purpose? See, so knock it off. What about the Ahmadi, the Qadiani Ahmadis in Bangladesh? A Damon Stengel listens to the Khalifa's Friday sermon on translation. So knock it off, man. Knock it off. No, he won't answer. So I normally do short videos. That'll just about do it. I'm done here, and no one came. So I'm out of here. Peace out and assalamu alaikum.